Texas students this year. Although the governor now has said school districts can resume classroom instruction for summer school, CCISD is holding off on that. As Catherine McGinney reports, the school district first wants to hear how parents are grading online learning.
Remote learning has become the new normal, but for students, parents, and teachers, it was a change that came with challenges.
It's my son, and I know a lot of people and a lot of students had a lot of problems.
That's why CCISD is asking for feedback through an online survey
on the things that we're doing well and things that we could improve upon, especially if we might have to do another one of these closures next year, which is what's being forecasted.
Distance learning has been easy for some, but not for families who don't have Wi-Fi or computers at home.
I have Wi-Fi and I have cable, but I don't have a tablet or a computer. And that makes it kind of hard for everyone, especially people like me, and I know a lot of other people can't afford it.
The district wants to make sure everyone is prepared in case campuses don't open in the fall.
Our goal is to put technology in the hands of everyone, and so that we won't have to worry about whether we go online or not.
CCISD is in the process of purchasing Wi-Fi hotspots and Chromebooks for those who need them. The survey also seeks input on the big question everyone is asking.
What about next year? What does that look like? How can we make you feel comfortable about the safety of our students, the safety of our staff?
At this point, CCISD is not sure what the next school year will look like, but administrators say the feedback they receive will help them decide how to start out the new year. Reporting in Corpus Christi, Catherine McGinney, Chris 6 News.
Now that survey is available online until June 5th. You can find it on our website, christv.com. Well, the pandemic partly to blame for the closure of one of the city's longest serving parochial schools. The Catholic Diocese of Corpus Christi has sent out a letter to parents advising them that the Holy Family School will be closing its doors. Now, the school in the heart of the West Side has served this community since 1956. The diocese letter says the pandemic, plus the economic downturn and declining enrollments, led to the painful decision to close the school. Holy Family students will be allowed to transfer over to St. Cyril and Methodius School. Well, water parks across the state are getting ready to reopen on Friday. Governor Greg Abbott gave them the green light yesterday, and Hurricane Alley here plans to hold its reopening on Saturday. It'll be operating under the 25% of capacity rule, and there will be social distancing reminders throughout the park. Now, the Waves Resort out on the island, however, will not be reopening. You may recall back in March, it announced it would remain closed until next summer. Well, you'll soon be able to stay overnight at state parks like Mustang Island, and starting today, you can make reservations for overnight camping. It'll be allowed from June 1st through September 7th. Social distancing and other health protocols will be in place. Visitors will be encouraged to wear face coverings and to bring their own supplies of hand sanitizer. The reservations by phone have been taking a little longer than normal, so right now you're being encouraged to make those reservations online. Well, the city's Latchkey Summer Camp program will operate a bit differently this year because of the pandemic. Summer camp will start on June 8th at 5 new locations. They're now going to be located at city recreation centers and senior centers instead of the schools. Now, parents will have to drop off their kids outside the building, and children's temperatures will be checked before they're allowed inside. They'll also be assigned to groups of 10 to help limit their interaction. Well, a quick reminder now to check our website on a regular basis for all the very latest on the COVID-19 crisis. Our social media team working very hard to provide you with the most online content available as quickly as possible. And also don't forget to download our free Chris 6 News app to get breaking news alerts sent straight to your smartphone.
Getting through this with stories to help you get back on track. This is the Rebound Coastal Bend.
You know, the USO has always been a helping hand for all our folks in the military, and as our Jeff Dubroff reports, that's been especially true during this pandemic.
The USO has many sayings, one of which is they're a home away from home. And as you can see, the food pantry I'm standing in shows just that. This is Ashley Buchanan.
Hi there. Hello.
And she is at the USO South Texas, picking up groceries.
We substituted some of the groceries that we could have gotten at H-E-B, and we got them here instead.
As a member of a military family, which the Coastal Bend does have plenty of, she is able to use the USO South Texas food pantry. And according to Sarah Banta, the executive director, more military families are doing the same.
We have some families that literally take advantage of it once a week, and that's what we hope they'll do.
The food pantry first played a big role during the partial government shutdown last year. Now during COVID-19, it has become a huge resource once again.
Doritos.
It's a way that we can help them, not only for people that maybe are suffering a loss of income due to the pandemic, but also to help our moms with little kids who maybe can't go to 4 or 5 stores to find what they need.
Ashley Buchanan uses the food pantry for just that, to help the youngest in their family get out of the house while both parents work, and as the oldest of 3 sisters, she does the grocery shopping. The pantry is helping them save.
There are 5 of us at home, so it's really great to be able to save just a little bit.
It's free for all active duty military members and their families in the Coastal Bend area. The pantry is stocked with canned goods, diapers, and plenty of essentials that are donated from various organizations, such as the United Way.
I think it's really important for our entire community to support the military as much as we possibly can.
The United Way began a COVID-19 relief fund in March in order to help nonprofits. The USO South Texas is one such organization.
We were happy to be able to fund the food pantry there.
Social distancing efforts are in place at the food pantry. For those who order food online, they're able to pick it up in a safe manner. The USO South Texas is doing what's right for those who keep us safe. For the Rebound Coastal Bend, I'm Jeff Dubroff.
Now, if you're an active member of the military and you'd like to use the USO South Texas Food Pantry, we've got the necessary information posted for you on our website, christv.com/rebound. Well, fresh produce handed out to needy families today. CC Produce and the Coastal Bend Food Bank partnered for this pop-up food distribution event over at the county fairgrounds. 500 boxes of food were handed out. The Farms to Families program is not new, but organizers changed the way they distribute food because of the pandemic, holding more drive-through events like these, especially out in the rural areas. And don't forget, if you have a story idea or a question, all you have to do is email us at rebound@christv.com.
Hey, good evening, folks. It turned out to be a lovely day here in the Coastal Bend. Take a look at your live WeatherBug camera downtown. It's looking great on the water. Nice little traffic out there in the marina, and 86 degrees. South-southeast wind at 14 miles an hour. Now, across the rest of the area, mid-80s to lower 90s with that south and southeast wind, 10, 15, 18 miles an hour, but lots of sun. Just a beautiful day. Further to the northeast, not so much. Massive line of thunderstorms have been moving through east central and southeast Texas, producing damaging winds, large hail, and flooding. Another set of storms now clustered in the hill country, also working their way south and eastward. You got severe thunderstorm watches until midnight for all those areas to our north and west. Will it affect us? I'll answer that later in your full forecast. Lee?
All right, thank you very much, Bill. Well, the police department has now released the names of those 2 officers who were involved in the shooting of a burglary suspect early Tuesday morning. They're identified as Officer Jacob Sullivan, a 6-year veteran of the police department, and Officer Rene Rodriguez, who has been with the department for just over a year now. They were investigating a break-in at a mobile home park over on Ayers when they were confronted by an armed suspect. The officers say they shot the man when he refused to obey their commands. 2 other suspects were arrested there at the scene. Both officers currently on paid leave. The suspect who was shot has not been identified and his condition is not known at this point. In other news, rough water spoiled a kayaker's fishing trip this morning. 23-year-old Isaiah Delgado was about 1.5 miles offshore from Bob Hall Pier when things started going wrong for him. First, his kayak started taking on some water. Then the rough conditions threw him out of the kayak and he couldn't get back into it.
And then that led to just a roller coaster of things, you know, the boat taking on water, and then that was pretty much it. You know, he had to just hold on for his life.
Now, Isaiah was able to call his girlfriend and she called 911. A rescue boat found him and brought him and his kayak back to shore. Isaiah wasn't hurt, and as you can see, he managed to hang on to part of his catch today. He also had a message for anyone who's getting out on the water, and that's always, always wear a life vest. Well, some insurance companies have rejected claims filed by businesses that lost a bundle of money because of the pandemic shutdowns. And a lot of those businesses are now taking their insurance companies to court. More on that after the break. Well, welcome back. Many of the businesses that suffered losses because of the coronavirus shutdowns are now getting another dose of bad news. Their insurance carriers are turning down their claims. Roland Rodriguez has the story.
People are getting really hit right now, understand how bad this is going to be over the next 3 or 4 months if things don't improve. And you're just going to see the whole ecosystem of what makes cities great get crumbled up if we don't find a solution.
Now many area restaurants, small businesses, and even private healthcare facilities have filed lawsuits against insurance companies after claims for damages due to the coronavirus pandemic were denied despite having paid premiums for their policies.
The impact of this goes far beyond what an insurance company thinks about, but this is no different than part of my business losing business because of a water damage or a fire. It's no different. It impacted revenue. That's the bottom line.
If you've been in business a long time, you can afford to take a hit usually. But if you're just starting out, you can't.
This is becoming a huge battle, not only in Texas, but also nationally, as insurance claim that their coverage only applies if a shutdown is based on physical damage to a business.
They deserve compensation because the civil authority, being in our government, told a lot of people stay home, shelter in. What happens? Business goes down. Those businesses who paid premiums every month should be compensated because their insurance contract says so.
Roland Rodriguez, Chris, 6 News.
A lot of insurance policies, even those that do include coverage for business interruptions, do not include coverage for illnesses caused by viruses or bacteria, and that includes COVID-19, so you really need to read the fine print. Well, just ahead, no matter how you slice it, you're going to find some of the best pizza in town in downtown Corpus Christi. And tonight in our We're Open report, we're going to take you to Mesquite Street Pizza, so stay with us for that.
This is We're Open Coastal Bend, made possible by NEC Co-op Energy.
And this evening's report, we're spotlighting a popular downtown eatery, one that specializes in pizza. Here's Alan Harwell.
Brandon Gonzalez always dreamed of owning his own pizza shop. Well, it became reality 6 years ago with the opening up of Mesquite Street Pizza and Pasta Company.
I can't believe people come to my restaurant. You know, it's amazing how you can start a business and people actually love it.
And they come for all things Italian, but pizza is by far their biggest seller. His comedy club is also very popular, but he was forced to close it because of the COVID-19 pandemic. He is hoping to reopen it in mid-June.
And a lot of people that normally wouldn't come downtown, we bring them downtown because of the comedy, you know, and then they get a taste of our restaurant, and then they just keep coming back as repeat customers.
Gonzalez also loves to give back. He donates food often to first responders and holds daily Facebook contests where he gives away free food. He even delivers the free food to the winners.
Write us a letter, let us know who needs this. You know, we'll deliver right to their house for free. You know, if we pick you, and we do it every single day, we'll deliver, you know, say the margaritas and a pizza to your mom that's been watching your children while you're, you know, working.
Mesquite Street Pizza is open for lunch and dinner every day except Monday. Alan Harwell, Chris 6 News.
We're Open Coastal Bend is made possible by NEC Co-op Energy. Now, your Chris 6 weather forecast with meteorologist Bill Alexander.
Hey, good evening, folks. It turned out to be a glorious day across the coastal bend. Right now, take a look at Rockport out there. Just beautiful skies. 85 degrees to the south-southeast wind at 11 miles an hour. Yeah, it couldn't have been much nicer. Made it up to 87 here after that nice morning low of 67. No rain, of course, and the peak wind only 23 miles an hour. So, pretty nice, right? Well, up to the north, not so nice. We've been looking at not one but two what we call mesoscale complexes, big storm systems that have been producing sporadic severe weather. The first one, now moving towards the coastline near Galveston, has been producing large hail damaging winds and very heavy rain. A lot of wind damage and hail damage from around College Station in Bryan all the way down into the Houston metro. The second system back up in this area of the hill country, now working its way into the Austin area. Well, it's also responsible for some hail and wind damage. Both of those have resulted in the necessity for severe thunderstorm watches across portions of the area from south central Texas to southeast Texas, well north of our own region until midnight. You can see the rain cooling as a result of those storms there. Only 77 in Houston, 78 in Austin. Elsewhere across the state, 80s, 90s, even triple digits there in Del Rio. Around here, 80s to around 90 degrees, and you can see the mid-80s along the coastline, lower 90s in the interior. Water temperature sitting in the middle 80s. It's very, very pleasant out there. It is getting humid though. Look at the dew points back up into the middle 70s. That's where they were a couple of days ago. As a result of the heat and the humidity, well, we're looking at heat index values well into the 90s right now. We'll be close to that again tomorrow, but the change involves two features. This cold front and those upper level disturbances moving across will produce an opportunity for more rain and thunderstorms here, especially as you move on into early Friday morning. These storms roar into our region and produce significant rain. By significant, let me roll you the numbers here. You can see these developing Thursday night into Friday, with basically another cluster of storms moving on in and producing 2 to 3 inches of rain in our northwestern sections. But we may see quite a bit more as we move further south as well. We'll have to watch that one and see how these models refine the output eventually. But there's the disturbance that's producing that, and something happens as the main low moves off in the upper air. Now, this piece of energy here sticks around for the weekend and keeps us in the mix for showers and thunderstorms right into the middle of next week, it appears. We're also looking at this area of disturbed weather deep into the tropics. We'll be watching that carefully to see what impact it could have on us. Tonight, though, partly cloudy skies, looking awfully nice out there, mid-70s for a low, near 90 again tomorrow, and then through the week, well, we see the good chance of storms tomorrow night and Friday, and then isolated to scattered storms after that. Lee?
All right, thank you, sir. Well, having a fistful of cash can make you feel pretty good, but could it also infect you with coronavirus? Well, after the break, we'll hear what a local doctor has to say about that.